Keywords matter for you and for me because any search engine, and let's go ahead and expand that to include YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok increasingly. Keywords are how that search engine knows to match you with the person who wants to get that content. So that's why keywords matter. You can just write blog posts, make videos, make TikToks, make pins about whatever you want, but the more keyword research you do, even as a beginner, especially honestly as a beginner, the better off you're gonna be, the faster you're gonna grow online no matter what your platform is. Before we jump into today's video, I want to share a word from our sponsors, MugshotBot. MugshotBot is for bloggers and shop owners who have websites online. You want to embed a link, you want to make it beautiful, you want to make it look nice, you want to make it engaging and ultimately clickable for your audience, and that's exactly what MugshotBot does. They make it really easy to make these beautiful, customized, gorgeous embeds that your audience is gonna want to click on. They're for people who want to make things beautiful on their website, and who among us doesn't want to make things beautiful on the website? It costs $0 if you're on the free plan. If you want to access some of the pro features or get even more customized, it costs $9 a month or $89 per year. Thanks for watching, and let's get back to the video. Hello, my name is Zuli Rain. I am a freelance writer, content creator, ghostwriter, marketer by accident, and most importantly, cat mom. I'm making this video, which is all about how to do keyword research using a tool called SEMrush. You will be able to apply most of the insights here using any variety, any brand, any flavor of SEO tool. I like SEMrush for two reasons. First of all, in the interest of disclosure, they did give me free access to the tool for a couple of months so that I could get to grips with it, understand how to use it, and whether I wanted to promote it or not. The second reason is that I used it, I liked it a lot, and I want to promote it because it's great. But no money exchanged hands during this transaction. I just think it's a great tool. This video is going to be 9 parts long, so buckle up, grab your drink. Normally I drink tea or coffee, but it's way too hot here, so I'm on spicy water. Buckle up and let's get ready to learn about keyword research. Stay till the end if you want to see the bloopers. Because this video is aimed at beginners like me who didn't really know what keywords were or why they mattered or if they were important, I want to start by describing what a keyword is. A keyword is anything. A keyword is something somebody puts into Google or, God, DuckDuckGo or Bing or Ask Jeeves or any of the other thousands of search engines to try to get information about something that they have a question about. So a keyword could be something literally like fizzy water. Fizzy water is a keyword, but so is, does fizzy water make my cats hate me? That's also a keyword. Anything you put into a search engine to get results is a keyword. Step 2. Once you know what a keyword is, it's time to come up with some keyword ideas. There's a couple different ways you can do this. You can just think about what people ask you about in real life. This is useful for you if you're a new blogger. Maybe in your case, you are a very good cook and you are always being asked,
Susan, what is the secret to your amazing chocolate chip cookies? How do you get them to come out so fluffy? What's your secret? Tell me your cookie fluffing secrets, Susan.
That's what you're getting asked constantly all the time. That's one great source of a potential keyword, okay? So keep that in mind. Another great point, another great place to start looking if you are already creating content, writing blog posts, is what's been successful for you in the past. So I really want to show you how SEMrush works here because it's really great. Okay, so let's go to my SEO dashboard. This is where I start with SEMrush. Like I said, SEMrush is really good at this, but pretty much any SEO tool will be able to do this for you. And I like to start by looking at traffic analytics. Okay, so I like to see what's popular. What are people already searching for? This is going to give me a really good idea of what I'm good at talking about and what kind of content brings people to my site already. So I'm looking at this. This is my organic insights for my website. And I can see some green numbers and some red numbers and some blue numbers and some black numbers. Okay, great. What does that all mean? So looking at this, it's really interesting to see that these pages are the ones that are most popular on Medium, or these are the ones that are most popular on my blog. So this one is 4 realistic sites for beginners to get paid. How much money is 1,000 views worth on Medium? 3 reasons why writing on Medium is still worth it in 2021. So I'm looking at this and I'm getting a sense of what kind of content is popular for me. Sites like Medium, ways to make money writing online that maybe aren't sites like Medium, and so just some other miscellaneous stuff that's come up. So other than thinking about like what people ask you on a day-to-day basis, what kind of content is performing well on your website already, you might say, well, what if I want to grow beyond that? What if I want to be known for something I'm not yet known for yet? That's not a problem at all. This is going to cover how to come up with good keyword ideas for you as a beginner, even if you want to go in a totally new direction. So I'm going to give you an actual example. One of the industries or niches I'm trying to break into right now is the side hustle niche. I think I have a lot of value to offer here, so I'm not yet known for it, but I hope that in a year I 100% will be. So let's go back to SEMrush. And now I'm going to show you another tool I love called the Keyword Magic Tool. Basically says what it does on the tin. You put in a keyword, you get the magic. Okay, that was a really bad explanation, but let's actually get into what this tool will do for you. So let's say I want to do side hustles. Let's just literally type in, this is my keyword, side hustles. I'm putting it into the Keyword Magic Tool. And what this is going to do is it's going to give me a ton of different suggestions for maybe some optimized keywords I can target, maybe some other ideas I hadn't even thought about yet. So let's scroll down, and I want to show you a couple of features I really, really like about SEMrush. Again, I feel compelled to say I did not get paid to make this. I just really like SEMrush. So one thing I love is question-based keywords. So the reason I love this is because I love to give information. That's my whole reason for being. That's the reason I've got my blog. People have questions. Guess what? I've got answers. I think a lot of bloggers are the same. So doing this by keyword lets me focus on keywords that are written by people who want to find out information. They're looking for something in specific, right? So here's a bunch of different keywords that the Keyword Magic Tool has brought up. Now let's move on to step 3, which is when you take the sort of short list of keywords or topics you've come up with and you start looking to analyze them for 3 very, very important metrics: traffic, competition, and brand fit. 1, traffic. Are people searching for this keyword? This is good, but take all these findings with a grain of salt, because remember, a lot of keywords have never been searched before. Search terms can become more popular, less popular over time, and also these sites aren't 100% accurate. So for example, is medium still worth it in 2021 was a keyword that Google told me got 10 visits per month. I get hundreds of visitors per month from that specific keyword, so just remember that. So traffic. Number 2, competitive. Is your keyword something that you stand a chance of ranking on? Now, if I were something like Merriam-Webster.com, I could write pretty much anything I wanted and rank for that keyword, because Google knows I'm a dictionary. Google knows I can be trusted to write a blog post entitled, "What is the definition of side hustles?" Now me, if I'm gonna write what is the definition of side hustle on my blog, I probably won't stand a good chance of ranking. There's just too much traffic, and other blogs have more resources than I do. So that would not be a great competitive one. A lot of tools will cover like keyword difficulty, gives you a kind of rough estimate. The 3rd, is it branded? Is it relevant for you? So a great example of this, I once ranked for the keyword toxic friends because my article went viral on Medium. Now, do you know what toxic friends has to do with my brand? I'll give you a clue. It rhymes with Nero, and yes, it's 0 is the answer. It doesn't have anything to do with my brand. I ranked for it, great. I didn't even have AdSense turned on at that point, so it was literally not even giving me a single penny. You have to be asking yourself this. You have to be ruthless. You have to be thinking of how you're going to serve your reader with this content, your ideal reader, your target reader, your dream reader. Think of them. So let's go to the Keyword Magic Tool. I've put in this keyword, side hustles. That's, like I said, something I would love to be known for in the future. Let's start by looking at traffic. So it does let you sort by traffic. That's really, really handy. But like I said, you know, even if something is 50 hits a month, that might still be worth pursuing because that might go up in the future, or, you know, this might not be super accurate. Nope, no tool is perfect. So next, I want to look for keyword difficulty. Now I'm looking for the little green circle. That's what I want more than anything. No, the other way. Go the other way. Okay, how to start making side hustle. That's not for everyone's side hustle, just for LLC for side hustle. So this is going to give me a ton of really, really interesting tips and ideas for content I can make around the concept side hustle that I stand a really good chance for ranking for. So a lot of these don't have a lot to do with me as a creator, like how to start a baking side hustle. I bet I could do a really good blog post about that. But is that really what I'm about? No, it's not. Okay, so here's something interesting. Is I'm Academy a good side hustle to make money? That is a commercial one because they're investigating a service, and it has a lot more traffic, and it's not too hard compared to like other ones that are about the same difficulty have much less traffic. So I'm thinking about this one because I have done reviews in the past of services that I've tried. I think 390, and look, that trend is going up. That's super important and interesting. And it's not too hard. I stand a good chance. So branded, there's traffic, and I stand a good chance of being competitive for this keyword. So that's great. All right, step 4 is an easy one. Pick one. You'll do your research. You can figure out which one you think is the best fit for you. Picking one is honestly probably the easiest step on this list. You can pick one at random. To be honest, you're gonna be repeating this process a lot, so the one you pick doesn't matter as long as you pick one and move on. Okay, on to step 5. Let's take this I'm Academy one as our example no, let's look at a different example, actually. Let's look at overemployment. So overemployment is an interesting one. A couple weeks ago, I had the chance to interview someone who's running this kind of like overemployment situation where he has 3 jobs. He hasn't told any of the jobs that there are 2 others, and he's getting 3 paychecks. I think it's a really cool concept, and more importantly, I think it's gonna become a more popular concept. So right now, not a huge amount of traffic around here, but also not very much competition because nobody's talking about this yet, and I am betting that people will be soon. So that's why I want to use overemployment for my example here, because this shows that even without a huge amount of data right now, we can still use this information to craft a good blog post for ourselves. I'm gonna go with something like, let's look at the volume. Other direction. Let's say I pick something like overemployment. Okay, that's got nearly 1,000 hits a month. Relatively hard, 54, but not impossible, right? Doable. I can do this. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to take overemployment as my keyword. I click on that here, and this is going to give me a ton more information and, frankly, really, really useful content that's going to help me write a good blog post. So, one really good thing to look at here is this question section. Like I said, questions are really critical. They tell you what people are thinking. Why are people searching the keyword overemployment on Google? What is that all about? So people want to know, is it legal? People want to know, can it happen? People want to know, what the heck is this? They've heard the term, they want to know more. So what this is telling me is that my blog post should be it should be a little bit more introductory. Maybe it shouldn't assume a huge amount of knowledge. And for keyword purposes, I should be including all of these questions in my article somewhere to act as keywords. What these questions are going to do is it means that Google is going to scan that, it's going to parse that text, and it's going to say, oh, okay, clearly people who want to know what is overemployment are going to be interested in this content, or people who have maybe searched for that in the past. If they search overemployment, we should direct them to Zulie's super cool, awesome blog on the subject. So this is all part of step 5. We're looking at questions, we're looking at related keywords. So again, these are things that you want to put inside your blog post. I would be making a note of all of these, maybe even copy paste them and put them into the document, copy paste these, put them into the document, all the variations of the keyword to put them into this document that you're working from. So you can be sure that Google really knows what your article is about and who's going to be interested in this, right? Let's quickly recap because this is a long video and I know everybody's attention span is like 3 seconds long. So at this point, you know what a keyword is. You've thought of some ideas, not really keywords so much as topics. You've used a tool like SEMrush to narrow it down, come up with some variations to figure out which one's going to be competitive, which one's going to have traffic, and which one's a good fit for you and your brand. And you've also had a look at some related keywords, some questions. This is going to help you structure your blog post in a way that's going to make it it's going to make it better at ranking, but more importantly, it's going to make it a better article for people who are looking for the answer that your blog post is going to have it's going to address the question to. So it is about ranking, but remember, a lot of keyword research is about serving the reader, not just the algorithm, but the person behind the screen who wants to learn more about that thing, the cool thing that you're talking about. Susan, somebody wants to know about your fluffy cookies. Remember that person. Okay, so number 6, competitor sniping. All right, let's take our keyword, overemployment. I want to show you for employment. I want to show you my my cutthroat process, my vicious backstabbing. So what I've done is I've just Googled my keyword that I've picked out, right? So what this is showing me right now, the top result is overemployed. Reddit's overemployed subreddit, interesting. And an article from the IT industry, one from Encyclopedia, one from blog.namely, BBC article. Okay, so we're looking for the answer to a very important question. Does my article stand a chance of landing on the front page? Now, I would argue yes, looking at this. First of all, we're gonna look at recency. So I can't see how old this one, I guess because it's just a homepage. Okay, so it's important to know that Google is thinking about how best to serve the reader. So does it think that people who are searching overemployment want to be directed to a commercial website called overemployed.com? Probably not. So that means that this homepage is, if Google can find better content to surface, it might not come up. Like, this is not going to be what Google wants to show people, right? It wants to show people who are wondering, like going back to our list of questions, right? Is overemployment legal? What even is overemployment? How can I get more jobs? That's what Google wants to do for those people. And this right now, that ain't it. So yeah, age is one question. So something like this that is like kind of ageless almost works against it in this case. Then we've got something like Reddit. Again, Google wants to be surfacing specific answers to questions. This isn't it. This article is new. That's interesting. But it's not like, this is a very vague term, right? Overemployment. Not everybody's going to want to read about the IT industry, and Google knows that. Blog.namely, don't know about that. Another BBC article. Okay, so, and then Merriam-Webster. I didn't even know that when I came up with that example earlier. Yahoo News example from almost a year ago. The other thing it's looking at is domain authority. So domain authority is how much Google trusts a website to be a reputable source, right? So overemployed.com is a 39 out of 100. What does that mean? It means that a lot of people are linking to this site. Not like a huge numbers. Okay, so if we compare that with like, let's go back to Merriam-Webster. Look at this. Merriam-Webster has got 92 out of 100 because Merriam-Webster kicks ass / many people link to definitions. I'm a huge Merriam-Webster fan, as you can probably tell. Yahoo, similarly high. BBC, similarly high. But again, these articles are going to be old in a year if they're not already. So keep that in mind. It's domain authority and it's recency, and that kind of intangible is this content serving the searcher. So this is all very complex, but you kind of get a feel for these things as you go on. You look at these pages and you start to understand what Google wants and whether searchers are getting the answers they want here, right? I don't think they are. So I think overemployment is a really good article for me to write. And hopefully you've been doing your own keyword research and you've come to a similar conclusion. Now, if you look at this competitor research and you're like, oh my God, every single article here was written yesterday and has a domain authority of 99 out of 100, don't panic. Just pick one of your others from the short list you did earlier. Repeat steps 1 through 5 and have at it. Try again. This is a learning process. It's very iterative. So just keep that in mind. This isn't a one-time thing. Step 7 is my favorite part, hopefully yours too. You get to write it. Now, when it comes to writing it, again, I kind of touched on this earlier, you want to be including as much of these questions, related keywords, and keyword variations as possible. And importantly, where natural in your blog post. Now, don't stuff it with keywords. So people are trying to game the system every day, and Google has gotten pretty good at stopping them from gaming the system. So you want to help Google as much as possible. You want to tell Google, hey, this is what my article is about. Hey, if somebody's interested in overemployed, I just saw this typo, they're probably interested in overemployment, which is what I'm writing about. Hey, I'm doing a great thing. You want to help readers, I want to help readers. Perfect. You don't want to use the word 10,000 times in your article because Google's going to look at that and be like, oh, this person is just trying to game the system. This person doesn't have the reader's best interest at heart. So be natural, be organic, be genuinely useful. Come at this from a place of like you genuinely want to be helpful for a reader. The closer you can get to that pure serving place, the more likely you are to rank. A lot of times we pay money for SEO tools to host our website, to run our whole business, right? You want to be sure that your efforts are worth the time and, importantly, worth the money, worth the investment that you're putting into them. That's why doing this on-page positioning is so important. So you want to look at this article that you've written, and what I like about SEMrush is that it gives you little pointers for how you can improve, and it does this in a really nice and non-passive aggressive way. It's just like, look, this is what you can do better. So for example, I wrote this article, is blogging on Medium in 2021 still worth it? It's still ranking, it's doing great, but there's a lot of stuff that I can do. So here's a great example of something that I did quite badly in 2021 that I do better now in this year of our Lord 2022. Back in the day, I keyword stuffed like I was stuffing a turkey and it was Thanksgiving, right? So SEMrush is like, hey, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do that. Maybe focus on creating more informative content. Suli, have you thought about that? It's telling me I'm using these keywords too often, and that might be one of the reasons that I'm not ranking very well. So I can fix that, I can change that, and hopefully make sure that this blog post is still relevant to readers and also playing by Google's rules. So the other thing I want to show you is the position tracking. Like I said, you also want to be sure that the content you're making is paying off, that all this research you're doing is paying off. And if it's not, then maybe what you can do differently and / what you can do better. So that's where position tracking really comes into play, where you can say like, oh, I spent 10 hours of my life writing this awesome blog post that didn't rank on Google. I wonder why. So step one is to do the position tracking and make sure, okay, is it working? If not, and then if it's not working, you can go back to that tool I showed you earlier and have a look and say, oh, okay, well, what does this SEO tool recommend that I do to fix it? Am I doing too much keyword stuffing? Should I include more graphics? Should I try to include a table of contents to incentivize Google to use it as a featured snippet? There's a lot you can do. So I've put in my 3 example keywords, and beginners get paid to write, is Medium still worth it? Best alternatives to Medium. So these are great. These are good. That means that I'm ranking on number 1 to number 3 in the search results, and 1 is not ranking at all. So this is really good for me to understand, okay, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And crucially, how can I improve? Okay, so that was step 8. Number 9 is to reap the rewards. Number 9 is rinse and repeat and then reap the rewards. SEO is a slow but steady kind of situation. You're never gonna write something and rank the very next day or the very next week. Google needs time to figure out what your article is about, where it should be in the positioning, whether other people are reading it, if they're enjoying it or not. But if you do it right and you keep following this process, your traffic is gonna improve. And not only that, but the right people are gonna start reading your content, and that's really exciting. Even if the right people is like 10 people on earth, if you're giving those 10 people the things that they need to be reading as they search for them, then you're doing the right thing, right? You're in the right place, you're doing the right thing, you're writing the right content, and that's an amazing place to be. So, like I said, I did this using SEMrush. I love SEMrush. I didn't get any money to say that. I just really like the platform. This was my keyword research for beginners tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment box below. I read and reply to every single one, so if you have any doubts, do not hesitate. I am here for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, subscribe. And also, if you like SEMrush, feel free to give them a try. I really like them. I use them a lot now, and that's great. The truth is, when you get it right and you work at it and you improve and you learn and you grow, it's so rewarding when you Google something and the top result is something that you wrote, and you know that other people are reading it because you wrote it and they're enjoying it and they're reading it, and Google really thinks, oh, people want to know about whether Medium is still worth it or not. This is what they should be reading. They should be reading my post. And that's a great feeling. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know how you get on. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Now, bye everyone. Did this work? Is this thing on? This article, I'm not writing. God, it's been way too long since I've filmed anything. Excuse me, is the side hustle, I can't speak today. Is the side, how to start a side hustle. High volume, that's great. So one thing that's important when you're looking, all right, I'm gonna, just paranoid I'm not recording. Am I still recording? Okay, so number 6, competitor sniping. Ba-doo, ba-doo, ba-doo. Sorry about that. I spend a lot of time on my own, so sometimes I embarrass myself because gotta make myself laugh. Nobody else is gonna do it. So maybe this is a terrible example. I'm not gonna include this. And oh, it's not recording. Oh my god. I forgot what I was saying. I've been recording for way too long. Let me just quickly get it up. Let's record my screen. Sorry, I'm gonna edit that out because talented I am, a singer I am not.